Hey everybody, happy Friday. Welcome to another edition of The Daily here with Josh Weisenhunt, the MLS Insider. I'm Nick Fershaw. We're talking about the MLS Preseason, a total of 10 games across the country this weekend. Make sure you log on to MLSsoccer.com and check all the live streams from down in Orlando and out in Tucson. I want to get your thoughts, though, on the one game that MLS fans shouldn't miss this weekend.
I mean, we have two tournaments kicking off all over the place this weekend, too, so there's a lot of streams to watch. But I would say if you're looking at one match that I'm going to be really focused on, it's that Seattle-Salt Lake match out in Tucson. I mean, and that's mainly because, Salt Lake just with the addition of Joao Plata looked like a really interesting team this year. I mean, they're going to score goals. Last year, I feel like was kind of down for them. I mean, it seemed like everyone was kind of over it almost, but I feel like with the injection of Plata and some new faces in there, John Sturtzer's a good promising rookie. I'm really interested to watch them and see how they develop, and obviously Seattle will be a test for them. For the Sounders, Mark Birch suspended for that game because of the incident against the New England Revolution in the tournament opener for Seattle the other day. You mentioned the tournaments. There's a tournament kicking off in Charleston on Saturday, the Carolina Challenge Cup, and then the Portland Timbers preseason tournament opens on Sunday. Make sure you log on to MLSsoccer.com for the schedule of all the games this weekend. Next up, some news and notes from around the league. Chivas USA have parted ways with another one of their players. It's James Riley, the veteran right back, on his way from LA to DC. He joins Ben Olsen's guys. Look, we know they lost Andy Nahar, obviously sold him during the offseason, so that was their starting right back for the majority of the season last year. They've got Robbie Russell, but James Riley's a nice addition for them. Yeah, I mean, he's a starting right back in this league. He really has been, even though this is his fifth team, I think it is, in a number of years. I mean, he's still going to be able to come in and definitely compete for that spot. So, I mean, if you're DC, you're happy, and all they had to give up was a supplemental draft pick, but that seems kind of like the norm these days when you're dealing with Chivas in the trade market. So, what are you going to do? I'm sure Ben Olsen's happy, and DC are set up for a good year this year.
Yeah, this is the second trade between these two teams. You go back a couple weeks, Casey Townsend going from Chivas USA to DC United. So some wheeling and dealing for both of these teams during the offseason. One other bit of news involving an MLS right back. It's all-star defender Steven Beitashour from the San Jose Earthquakes, who underwent sports hernia surgery on Thursday. Underwent the procedure earlier in the offseason, back in November. That's what caused him to miss the U.S. national team camp. He was pulled out of there earlier because of this injury. Got it fixed, but that's going to mean he's going to miss the season opener along with two other guys in the Quakes lineup, Mehdi Bellucci and Alan Gordon. We'll see when Steven Beitashour can get back on the field for the San Jose Earthquakes. Last but not least, politics and soccer involving Landon Donovan. There is a petition out there, if you log on to whitehouse.gov, that is being signed, at least for now, 72 people. They need about 99,900 more signatures. But this one, to get President Barack Obama to reach out personally and contact Landon Donovan, ask him to return to the U.S. men's national team.
I mean, to me, what's the deadline? March 10th?
Yeah.
So it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. And if we're being really honest, it seems like a pretty big waste of time if you're Barack Obama. But I mean, what are you going to do? And I mean, that doesn't even, you can't even take into account whether or not he is even in that sort of Landon Donovan camp, I mean, I don't know if Barack is really a Landon guy or not. He seems more of a Dempsey fan, I think.
You think so?
To take chances,
yeah. There you go. Well, either way, the request is for him to reach out again, personally thank him for his service for the U.S. national team, and then ask if he will return. Again, the U.S. national team, March 22nd against Costa Rica. That's the next big game in the Hex. Will Landon Donovan be part of that roster? Let us know what you think. You can comment in the section below. See if President Obama should reach out to Landon Donovan and see if he can come back to the U.S. national team. That does it for us. I want to remind everybody the latest edition of Extra Time Radio is out. Patrice Bernier from the Montreal Impact and Chris Pontius from DC United sat down with us in the studio. You can catch that on iTunes, Buzzsprout, and Stitcher Radio. Have a great weekend. Make sure you log on to the site. Catch all that preseason action beginning on Saturday.